Still waiting for my screen to load up. What's up, Clint? What's up, Jeff? Taking the wife out to steak dinner for 32 years. 32, something most people don't make it to anymore. So Lance Anderson, John Bauman, Someway, Caleb Thumb. Caleb Thumb said he didn't see anything exciting on Pipeline. I didn't see a whole lot, which I've only watched a couple of the videos. I'm waiting for a few other people, like Adrian and Curtis both had videos of like they were there type stuff, but I haven't seen any of their stuff as far as going around. I watched a little bit of the tour shows, a little bit of ECGs. That's all I've watched so far. What's up, TPG, Abraham Perez, Woodchuck, Roy, Sam Lee, Terry Burton. Your mic is very weak. Actually, yeah, it's unhooked or something. I got a little blue. Y'all got just my phone. I saw my little blue deal flashing. Let's see. Starting now. Should be better, hopefully. Also got a little bit of my something on the screen. Let's see. I don't know what's picking up over there on that far side. Might be this, maybe. Got something up there. Yeah. Got a delay, so I'm fixing it now. All right, looks like it's gone. Yeah, it must have. My microphone must have got unplugged. My little port's gotten a little bit loose over the course of time. So if I barely touch my microphone, like while I've got it in my phone, a lot of times it pops out. So yeah, the Pipeline, the M18 Surge. Of course, I wasn't crazy really interested in another M18 one. I've got the old version, but then I did see them do a side by side of the speed of the, like a lag bolt going in and out, and it was pretty significantly different. So it might be one of those things where it could take the place of like a triple hammer or something like that. So the new M18 Surge, the power, the speed of it was intriguing. I probably wouldn't have bought it unless if I hadn't have saw that little clip of the old one and the new one side by side putting in screws. It was quite a bit of difference. Woodchuck said 3 times faster. But Russ Albright said he was so disappointed there wasn't an M12 one. Yeah, me too. I'd rather have a new M12 one than an M18 one. And like I said, the M18 one's a little bit iffy on whether or not I would have got it, but after seeing that clip, I might end up buying one. We'll see. Because I do use my M18 one quite a bit. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, just finished. The guys just left with the block. I was helping them do the core filling. And they just got done, and I was cleaning up a little bit. So I barely had time to take a shower before I came out here. Tomorrow, I'm going to go to town and get the drain pipe and the sock and all that stuff to where I'll have it here so that whenever I'm ready, I can run it around the outside. I'm going to get some of that foundation sealant stuff and go ahead and put that on there, and then get the stuff to start forming up concrete to where hopefully maybe I can get that all done and maybe even pour next week. Clint said they're getting like everyone else, bit holders on carabiner and pliers wrench like everyone else. I saw the pliers wrenches just in passing. Like I never saw anybody like really pick them up and talk about them. So I'll be interested if there's videos later where somebody spent a lot of time looking at them. I didn't really like the look of them just by the passing glance of them. They look like they was a little bit too big, but again, it was kind of just a quick pick it up in their hand and I saw it and then they put it down type thing. Woodchuck said it looks smaller than the Gen 1. Yeah, the M18 Surge isn't really crazy bigger than the M12 Surge as far as the tool part itself. It's mostly just that battery. So yeah, if it's smaller, that'd be pretty nice too. The only two things I saw that I was kind of remotely interested in is the M18 Surge and the that blower, just because, and again, it's very hard to tell. The sound of it didn't sound like it was crazy loud, but it's always hard to tell because like if I film stuff on my phone, it auto adjusts kind of sometimes and like lowers the sound if it's something crazy loud. So you can never really tell when you watch a video if something is going to be a lot louder or not, unless you like somebody's got like a sound decibel reader or something right next to it type thing. What's up, Denny old fools? Yeah, and I got my electric wire all cut to link too. I've got all the conduit up to the house, going under the house. So I've got some point in time, if I've got a rainy day and slow on the scheduled stuff, I'll crawl under the house and run that one day. But I'm hoping to get, once I get the concrete stuff done, then I'll be good to go. I won't be waiting on people, won't be doing this and that. I also had the truss guy come out today and go ahead and take measurements, and that way he can take them back and have them ready to go. He told me it'd probably be like maybe like 2 weeks after I order. So basically, as soon as I start pouring the concrete, like the day I know I'm going to pour concrete, I'm going to tell him to go ahead and order them. And then that way I can go ahead and get my wall stuff brought out here while I'm building the walls and all that kind of stuff. The trusses will be on their way. Interested in the, let's see, I thought the same thing about the precision blower. It seemed not to be obnoxiously loud, but it might be deadened. Yeah, because there's a lot of times like I film stuff and then like, especially like if I use a tool, I got to make a conscious note not to start talking like as soon as I'm done using it, because the sound of my voice is like crazy off, like it's real low because it's deadened it, and then like it picks back up. So you almost got to quit using the tool for a little bit, wait 4 or 5 seconds, and then start talking again. I think you can turn that off on your iPhone. I think it's just a setting, but I've never have looked into it. Clint's interested in the impact and the wire strippers. I didn't see the wire strippers yet. I saw the diagonals. I did see those. The USA hand tools. I don't know if I saw the wire strippers. Oh, what are you talking about? The wire strippers that go in the drill, or did they have a new pair of like hand wire strippers? Clint said, Erica, I said I put that on the TV for him. I don't have Amazon drivers usually. Mine's just the USPS or FedEx guy, but both strippers. Yeah, I didn't see the hand ones yet then. I saw basically I put it on the tool show and kept hitting fast forward until I saw certain tools that I thought, oh, that looks something like I'd want, because I didn't have enough time to just sit down and watch it today. And then I'd stop, so I probably fast forwarded past it a little bit or something like that. A lot of this stuff seemed to be aimed at big time construction. Yeah, I saw a lot of like blowers and stuff I was skipping over, so I don't know for sure what it was. But even the list, like Matt sent me a list, and so did somebody else, maybe Sam Held or something like that. Sent me a list of the tool guide, TOOLGUYD. He had a whole list of stuff. So I read that first, and then I started skipping through the videos to see if I could find the certain things that I was interested in. USPS here, Slackers. My guy, the normal guy, like I've usually have like 3 different ones. The one who's normally the guy, he's pretty good, and I've never really met the other 2. But the one guy, like he'll bring all my stuff, like even if it would fit maybe in the mailbox, he brings it up here with my other mail and puts it on my door and everything. Now that one of the people will shove whatever they can in my mailbox, even if it doesn't really fit, they'll figure out a way to put it in there. Tube pumps, light racks, concrete vibrators, etc. What Someway said. And Clint said they've got everything on the Milwaukee website. Yeah, I didn't see a lot that I was just even scanning through that list of stuff that was on the tool guide. I didn't see a lot that I was just like, oh, I got to go check that out. There wasn't very much stuff that was for me. Matt said he uses the Roby handheld blower. I think that's what Matt said he uses too when he does car detailing. The new M18 looks good. I'm just curious about the sound. I wish it'd be one of those I'll have to hear it in person, because the Malif one works really well, but man, it is loud. It is super loud, and it's cheap. I mean, it's cheap, uses your M18 batteries, it works just as well as probably any of the other ones, but it is super loud. Like, you got to make sure you have earplugs in if you're going to use it very much. The Wolf Box blower I actually like better than that. It's not very loud, and it's pretty powerful. So I do like the Wolf Box. Steve's Wood Shop and Tool Reviews, no M12 Surge update. Yeah, I know it. And to me, it's like everything that you just did with the M18, which maybe they didn't want to bring them both out at the same time, because then they know some people will buy both. But if you had the option of buying one or the other, like at the same exact time, they'd be like, oh, we probably won't sell both of them at that point. But if we come out with one, they'll buy that one, and then we'll come out with the other one, and they'll buy that one too. Maybe that's the whole marketing genius behind it, I guess. But it's like everything you just did to the M18, you should be able to do to the M12, because like I said, tool-wise, it's pretty much exactly the same size. So whatever else like the head of it and all that kind of stuff between the M12 and the M18, not a lot of difference. I'll grab both of them real fast, the old ones. Again, I don't have the new ones, but like they're pretty close, exactly the same. Now my M12 has a boot on it. That might make it look a little bigger, but it's not. If anything, the M12 is actually a little bit bigger than the M18. As far as the tool itself, the only difference is, down here, the battery is going to be bigger on the M18. So basically, if they were able to shrink this one down or whatever they fit in the new one, they should be able to do the same thing, you'd think, on the M12. That's my opinion on it. So, but again, maybe they didn't want to come out with both of them at the same time. Roy said my FedEx guy is like the mailman from the old Chevy Chase movie. Yeah. It's a funny movie. I bet I've watched that. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I bet I've watched it a lot of times. Someway says he has a handheld blower that he loves, but he's not going to say the brand or I wouldn't read it. So that's the only reason why I really read that. They skirted the questions about the M12. Clint said they do have more sockets. I did see those. They got basically like some extensions, like some long. I didn't pay attention to what kind they were. I assumed they were like hex, Torx, like all that kind of stuff. I saw some that were a little bit longer. I just kind of glanced past those though. TPG, my wolf box handles my small blower needs. Yeah, I really like that wolf box that I've got. It works really well, especially for blowing myself off, because it's so easy to be able to like get on your neck and all that instead of having something a little bit bigger, and it's not very loud. It's definitely pretty nice. Abraham said Rob from the tour show asked the dude after the demo, and he literally did not say a word about the M12, whether it was being worked on or if they had any plans. And Mike said they basically kind of implied it. I guarantee you that's what it is. They're not going to do both of them the same year or the same time, because especially if you put out the new, and that's probably really smart. Again, I'm just guessing on this, but if I had to guess, if people are only in M12 and they really like the Surge, and then the M18 one comes out and it's smaller, and if they could just talk, a quarter of the people that are in M12 and not in M18 to go M18 and buy a new Surge, then they kind of get them into, oh, well, now I got batteries for M18, I'll buy some other stuff too. And then the next year you come out with the M12 and they still buy that one. Or at least that's probably my mindset anyways. That's what I'm probably going to end up doing. What's up, Ryan? Clint said they do have a new big SDS Max. What's up, Matt? Elliot Parrish. Elliot said that they did kind of say that they could use the technology in the M18. That's why I said, based on the size alone, it should be almost like a, whatever the guts are, almost a swap and just making it work on 12 volts instead of the 18. We'll see you, Jeff. Have a good dinner, buddy. What's up, Lexi? Be safe driving. Mm-hmm. I bought my wire off of Amazon, like pre-cut and all that kind of stuff. It was quite a bit cheaper than going to anywhere, really. I think I saved about $300. I had to get 100 foot of 6 black, white, red, and then I think it's a number 8 on the green. And then I got a 6.3 Romex indoor. I just got a 75-foot row, and see, they didn't offer a 75-foot row, and all I really need is like 65. And all the stores in town, all they had was like 125. So I was gonna have to buy a 125-foot row. That's ultimately what saved me a chunk of that money. But then the cut wire was much cheaper too. Matt had to do a final walkthrough apartment, 4 turns in 14 minutes. What's up, Killtronics? Platt sells cut wire for nearly the same price as 250-foot rolls. Yeah, we don't have a Platt here. I've got a CED, got a Rexel, and then there's one other place. Oh man, what's the name of that? I can't remember what the name of the other place is. The other place is the one that's been in the town the longest. I don't think it's like a chain type thing. I think it's just like been in our town for a long time, like an electrical distributor, but it's something warehouse, but I can't think of what it's actually called. Elliot pre-ordered the M12 Rover Light and got the email from Ohio Power Tool that it shipped today. And the rocket light for 100. I've seen the rocket light. It's been on clearance at my Home Depot for 100 for a little while. Ryan said he didn't wait for the Milwaukee one, but he went ahead and bought the Makita blower. Woodchuck said, which wolf box do you have? The silver one or the black one? Big price difference. Mine is the MF100. I think it's silver. Man, I don't know. It's a Hummingbird. I was like, there's a big old bug or something in here, but it's a small bird. I've got my garage door and everything open. Hopefully it figures out how to get out. Sounds like a helicopter. It keeps hitting my lights like it's a bug. I think it doesn't know what sunlight looks like, I guess. I might have to see if I can get that thing out of here. It's a goober. It always amazes me how I've got a whole garage door open and a man door, and this thing can't figure out how to get outside. But it's always funny to me whenever, like, if I've had birds get into like apartments and stuff, like at the campus I worked at, and to get them to go outside, it takes something special. I just never have understood it, that they can't figure it out. Well, it's a goober. I have to turn off my lights. Maybe it can see. Come on, be smart. Plumbing McKee says the M18 Surge looks awesome. It did look pretty good. I will say that. Like I said, and I would have probably not bought it except for if I see in that clip of, the speed difference of them putting in them fasteners. It was pretty significant, because that's the one reason why I end up getting out my triple hammer sometimes over the M18 Surge. The M18 Surge will still put in everything just about that the triple hammer will. It just takes a little bit longer. So I might end up trying that. It's like it keeps going above my garage door that's up instead of going below it, but it's like I can't shut the garage door because then you won't go out that. Come on, be smart. How many heated jackets does one need? I didn't look at those, but I saw that in the fast forward. Need a bug assault. Let's see. I'd like to find a boot for my Surge. It looks about the size of a Hummingbird, but I can't tell if that's what it is or not. Pretty sure that's what it is. I guess I'll try shutting my garage door and see if it goes out the man door. Birds are so dumb. I keep thinking it's going to fly right into my head. I don't know what that green square is that's on my arm right here showing up on my video. LFL83, what do you think of the Surge Gen 2? Just on the looks of it, it looked pretty good. But, I mean, you won't know till you get it in your hand type thing. Sam said another pair of pliers wrenches. They looked a little, again, I only saw those just, it was the guy on the tool show just basically picked them up in his hand for 2 seconds, and it only showed like the top half of them. They looked a little bit bulky in my opinion, but I hadn't seen them really close up. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the green square. Something burned into the camera lens or something. Elliot, did you get an invite to the pipeline? No. No, so Milwaukee's dead to me. I'm going to sell it all. Matt said, was there a country of origin on the pliers wrench? I don't think he said, but I just fast forwarded through it. I didn't listen to if he said anything about it or not. I'll go ahead and plug this up and get a little more ambiance going. A little O-light, strip light. I mean, there is a big old door, buddy. Wide open for you. Captain 41, have you checked the Klein leather tote bag? Very nice. Old school. I haven't seen like an all leather one, if that's what it is. Now, they gave me like a canvas bag type thing with my name on it whenever I was at the at Klein. That's got some leather on it. Like it's leather on the bottom. I'm not too crazy about the font on the name thing, but it's just one of them canvas bags, a little bit like the tote thing, but it's leather down here. Well, let's try opening the door again. Mike said if the new Surge is buy one, get one on Black Friday, I'll buy a bunch of them. They said it was going to be $199, I think is what they said as far as when it's released. That's how much it's going to cost. All leather on Amazon. I don't think I've seen that one. if it's all leather, like 100% leather. The font's cute. Matt HMM said he knows women who uses those. I'm doing my drink. Well, gosh, dumb bird. What's the red light under the table? Yeah, it's the O-Light. I can't remember what the name of it is. It was like a strip light that they sent me. It changes multiple colors. I think you can get on your phone and make it a lot of colors. Or on this thing, like it goes from red, green, blue. But I think you can actually like get on your phone and do the whole spectrum of color wheels. But just there with the actual control, all you can do is red, green, blue. Green rectangle is a reflection of the on-air sun. Elliot said, anyone been able to get the new ball grip climbing yet? I think I got an email from Terry Burton just a minute ago. I think he said he got his in from Acme. So even if I don't remember what the pre-order date said on Acme for the delivery, but it seems like it was after like now. So he got his pretty early, it seems like. Somebody said maybe the Hummingbird smells Little Debbie in my sweat. I did eat some Star Crunches today. Man, that bird is driving me insane. It's super loud. Like it sounds like a helicopter or a motorcycle. But I don't guess I can murder it right here on live. Hit it with a shovel. I wouldn't do that. I'm just saying that. It's like I don't get it. How can you not get out of here? I mean, the whole front side of my whole entire garage is wide open. Star Crunch is one of the more divisive Little Debbies out there. Yeah, I didn't like them as much whenever I was a kid, but they're pretty good. Like I like them now. They weren't one of my favorite ones whenever I was a kid. I didn't like the right. That's just like I've never liked like Nestle Crunch bars and that kind of stuff with that rice in it like that. I've never understood why anybody would like a Nestle Crunch bar or any of that. Those are pretty gross. People do some nasty stuff live. Usually you have to pay for that. I could change the title to Man Kills Hummingbird and probably get a lot more views. Lance picked up the Craftsman ball grip at Ace. No locking feature, but holds the longer bits well. Yeah, the Craftsman one works a lot like the Vessel Tang Throughs and even the Black Vessel that takes the bits where they just slide in. It's kind of like a pressure fit. And for the most part, that's actually pretty nice because you can slide that shaft all the way down in there and it puts it in there pretty tight. And I've never really had a problem. I would say there might be times where, like if you end up putting a lot of torque on something and you go to pull it off, but I don't see that probably happening by hand. Like that happens sometimes when you use an impact or something that the nut driver will get stuck on the fastener or whatever it is and you go to pull off. That's why your bits sometimes stay in there if you're not using a lock and bit holder. So I doubt that would have probably ever happened by hand. Oatmeal cream pie. I swear thing's gonna hit me in the head. Y'all are gonna see it eventually. It's gonna fly in from the side and just boom. If just the tip sticks, shaft, cream pie, saying it all. Yeah, the weather the last 2 days here has been it's 82, which is like drastically, but it's been really low humidity compared. I don't know what the humidity's been, but it's been low compared to whatever it was. It might still be high humidity, but it's nothing like what it has been. Man, the last 2 days have been really nice. Heat down, still no misses. No, she just left with my son. She's walking. I came out the block guys were I'm core filling my whole entire block wall, and I bought the stuff to do it. I didn't have enough. I knew I wouldn't have enough. I was basically core filling for sure where all my rebar was tied into my footer, and then core filling everywhere where I was putting the anchors. And I went ahead and filled up from the back wall going around. But I came outside after they got here finally, and I saw him taking the bag and stuffing one down inside one of the holes and pushing it down in there so they wouldn't have to fill it up all the way, because that's probably what they normally do if they're not core filling somewhere. Everywhere they were putting an anchor, they were just filling up like the top block or so. And I was like, no. I said, that's not what I'm wanting to do. I said, everywhere there's rebar, I want to fill it up all the way from the bottom to the top because I'm 6 block tall. I said, if you don't do that, it doesn't do you any good. It's like it's just a piece of metal that's hanging out in a big hollow block. So then I finally got them to understand me on that. So then they did that. And then I had like a whole big bag of sand, like the kind where it's got the straps you carry with the forklift. I had a whole bag of sand left and about 10 bags of the grout fill stuff or core fill stuff. And I told them to go around first and fill all the ones that had rebar and all the ones that I marked to put anchors in. And they did that. And then they was done. I was like, well, I want to go and fill up all of these, like starting with that back wall, because that's the most important one. And then just go as far this way as you can until I run out, and then I'll get more. I said, but if y'all don't have time to do it, I'll do it. That's fine. I was like, oh, we can do it. So then I was hoping they were going to do it because they had the mixer here and all that stuff. So I finally got that all done. I got the entire back wall is the one where I'm going to have a lot of dirt against it. Like it's out of the 6 block, I'm only going to have 1 block that's going to be above ground. And then it slowly starts coming downhill on the other side. This would probably make more sense if I went out there, but I don't know that I'll lose you or not. But yeah, if I hadn't went out there and saw him putting them bags down in there, that's how all of them would have been. I can try taking it out there. We'll see how it goes. It didn't die on me the last time I went out there. Clickbait. So we'll see if I end up. Maybe the hummingbird will follow me. Smelling the Debbie. My whole garage over on this side is a mess. I'm gonna walk around this way, and then hopefully it won't connect to the. So this is my existing building that I'm trussing over and coming out here. So this right here, I'm going to access off this new section. So this is where I dug down. You can't really tell it by looking at it on video, but basically this, if I run level from here, it puts me about halfway up down. So I'm 6 block. This is 48 inches tall. I went ahead and took this out. I'm gonna pour concrete. I'm gonna form off this up to here and tie in up here. My post will be up here for my porch. And then this thing, this section right here that I'm standing in, I'm going to be getting off of this new section of the building right here. I've hit my digital tether. So is it messing up? You guys let me know if it's messing up. I'll turn around. But so got this whole wall core filled, and then over to about there. And then I've got everywhere where I've got rebar and everywhere I've got an anchor, I got core filled. So this will be a 10 by 10 garage door, so I can park my trailer and all that, and then I'll still have a ton of room, because my trailer, even when I back it in here, it's only going to come about halfway in. This is a little over 30 foot. And then, let's see, I'll probably go this way, just because I think if I go down there, I probably for sure will lose. I've also got conduit for a data cable and power coming up in here. We'll see if I lose y'all on this one. So same thing on this side. I'll be having a little section here, but this one I'm going to pour the same level as my existing floor in here, and then I'm going to put a door in where this window is. That's going to, so this one will basically be part of this building. My other one will be part of that building, and then it's going to look like one building from the outside though. Like, so this wall, this will be a turn down slab poured against that. I'll just be framing on the slab, and then all that'll be framed, but from the outside, it's just going to look like one building. And the Hummingbird still in here. But I ran another conduit for data for over there, so that once this is all said and done, I'll have a mesh deal in here. And then I can also, well, for one, I'll also have the ability to run a new cable back and forth if something happens to one of them. So I'll probably run a mesh, another one of my mesh out into that building too. And that'll give me more coverage out here so that I can move around, or if I'm working down there on something, I can be live down there or do something like that. If the Hummingbird decides to poop on you, it will be a viral video. It's like it will not go below the garage door. Like it's flying all everywhere around the whole entire building at the same height as the garage door. What size wire are you running to the garage and sub panel? Or no, it'll be I'm running 6. I'm coming off right now. I've got a inside panel in my house off my meter, and then I've got an outside panel off my house off the meter. I'm going to run, I've already got the piping coming from my outside panel on my house, going down, going into my crawl space, going under my house, coming out the other side, and then the conduits in the ground to back here. I've got it stubbed up inside that block. And so I'm just going to run a sub panel out there. if I thought about getting a meter and having them just put me a new meter for just the garage, but then you have to pay, because I won't run my mini split year round. I probably only run it winter and summer. And then around here you have like a minimum that's not too cheap. And my electric that comes in my house is on the other side of my driveway off of a pole that's in my yard. But then it goes from that pole, it goes across the street and then starts running down the other side. So for me to get a meter on this building, they'd probably end up wanting to set a pole in this side of my yard, and that's pretty expensive. So it was definitely cheaper for me to do this, and that's going to be plenty of power for what I need. Really all I'm running it out here for is for a mini split, and then I'll still have a little bit more power. I'll probably go ahead and run the lights and some receptacles and stuff for that new section off of it, just because it's going to be closer. And then I'll still have probably enough to run a little bit something else if I want to. Put something like that red bucket outside and try to draw it out like that. Like I can't fathom that it's not wanting to go. Like it's literally hovering. It's went over to this door like 10 times and still not went outside. Is your power coming into a pirate mast? Yeah, up on the top of my roof. And then it runs down into the meter, and then it comes off. My meter's got a conduit coming off one side that turns into my house where my box is inside my house, and then it's got a conduit coming off the other side going into my outdoor. And the only thing right now that's on my outdoor panel is my air conditioner unit, and they probably added that outdoor panel when they put the air conditioner unit in, because it didn't have one originally in the house, and it's a package unit. So that's probably when they put that panel in. Blow the Hummingbird with a leaf blower. That might actually work. We'll try. Make him mad, get him out of here. That ain't phasing him. Let's just peed him off. All I did was make him mad. Killtronics, your video still messed up? It shouldn't be messed up now. Or it shouldn't be. I don't know if it still is or not. He just flew over my head right there. Hummingbird 1, Joey 0. I just keep thinking he's going to hit me in the face. He's right here. Oh, actually, I was going to grab my iPad and pointed at it like that was going to work. So yeah, the pipeline to me was, nothing really crazy, like can't live without. It's like there's a few tools that I might end up buying, but it's none of it that I was just like, oh yeah, been waiting for that, type thing. And because they didn't invite me, I probably shouldn't buy anything. Teach them a lesson. The new Milwaukee bird catcher coming soon, or M18 Hummingbird feeder. That's what they need. Need a M12 or M18 Hummingbird feeder. Matt said Clint has quite the socket collection. I think Clint's got quite the everything collection. He's got more screwdrivers than I do, so that's saying something. Amanda's going to love to hear you're not buying new Milwaukee tools. That's why I said I'm going to go on strike until I'm invited to a pipeline. He can miss your face, no problem. They're better than a jet fighter. Erica said Clint has too much. Yeah, I'm going to end up needing to get I probably move this toolbox in front of me down there, because that's now that I'll be able to pull my truck in there, whenever I want to work on it. Having that bigger door is going to be nice. And so I'll probably end up doing like any of my work on cars or whatever, because then I can just pull it in there and leave it in there. So I'll probably move all my jack stands, my jack, this toolbox, and some other stuff. So that's going to free up a lot of space in here. And then basically in those two little wing sections, those two little like closet type things, I'll be able to put like the 12-inch shelves in those and be able to have like a lot of this stuff that I've got in here, all that kind of stuff. And I'll probably even take my rolling table saw and stuff like that. I'll probably keep down there, my scaffolding, my ladders, all that kind of stuff. So basically it's going to end up, like I said, I'm not really making this space bigger, but it's going to end up making this space bigger because I'll be able to get some of the stuff out of here that's kind of got it cluttered up. Elliot gave a young guy who does his yard a Vito tool bag and several tools to help him get started. Sweet. Kit with the Surge is $429. With the standard impact, it's $399. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen the Surge with in a kit with a hammer drill or anything like that either. I don't know if I have. But I'd like to get me this toolbox is only one of those that's like 18 inches deep or something along those lines. I can't remember exactly, but I think that's what it is. Kind of your standard, just Husky toolbox, like the cheaper one that they sell. I used to have one that was the 24-inch deep drawers, and I really like that a lot better. I'd actually like to have one that was mostly just like a bunch of the top drawers all the way down type thing, like that size drawer. Like you could have one for sockets, one for screwdrivers, one for pliers. But I definitely would like to get me another one that's deeper. Matt said I'm bugging Velocity to get me a bag. I'd like to try one. I'd like to get one. Erica says 69 people watching, only 22 likes. Come on, people. Erica, aka Juan. Yeah, I'm hoping there's some more videos that come out in the next little bit. Like I said, I know some other people that were there, and I haven't seen like actual footage of them. They're probably editing it tonight or doing whatever, type thing. The tour show was the only one I saw that was live. So unless I missed somebody else's. So I'll be curious. I think tomorrow we'll probably see more videos than what we saw today type thing. gateway drug. Stewie from the Tool Guy has some coverage in editorial form. That's the Matt sent me that, and I think Sam sent me that same list. And that's the first thing that I looked at before I even was able to get on YouTube and start looking for videos. I got in on the live of the tour show there for a little while. I saw Clint in the chat on it as I was walking back out. I just was inside for 10 minutes, get myself something to drink, and had it on while I was getting a drink before I came back out here. So I didn't watch very much of it actually live. And then whenever I went back in later, that's when I was doing the fast forwarding through it. Three times is too many. I'm trying to figure out what the three times is too many is for. Let's see. Oh, the J word. Max says some guys collect sport cars. I collect tools, much more reasonable. That's what I always tell people when they're like, man, you buy a lot of tools. I'm like, that's all I like. I don't buy anything else with my spare money. And I don't typically I buy tools that I don't necessarily need because I've got some already that I could use, but I still typically don't buy tools that I don't use. Like I don't just go buy something because I think it's nice or do whatever. Like it still has to fit the criteria of I could use it. I might like it better than what I'm using now. I might swap it out with what I'm using now. I might use it sometimes and then use the other thing I have that does the same job. And then they'll just last longer because I got two of them now instead of one. All those kind of justifications that you have to do in your head to make you buy another tool. But yeah, I'm the same way, Mike. I collect tools basically, but I still use them for the most part. Jamie said they keep saying it and he'll show up. Got to get you a car lift with all that Klein stock you're going to get. I've always thought to myself, if I was going to do like that for a garage, I almost think I'd dig me a pit so I could just walk down underneath of everything. Of course, that doesn't help you for like, tire work and all that kind of stuff. But I guess a lift probably would be better overall. I just don't know. I've never worked under one like ever. I don't know how safe I would feel up and underneath the one. I mean, I'm sure there's all sorts of safety features, but I'm talking about if a car wants to come down and something's not working right, that could be pretty bad. I've worked under some other stuff though. It's probably 10 times worse and didn't even think anything about it. But I've always thought that whenever I see a car up on a lift, I definitely, if I was going to buy one and put one in, I definitely wouldn't want to do the put the lift in the middle of your car and lift it up on two sides type thing. I've seen that on some videos and they get the weight off balance and next thing you know, it flips over or whatever. I would want like four or whatever it is. Killtronic said property taxes are killing mainly right now, and the bill from 2 weeks ago. Property taxes in my area is about to go up a bunch on some people. They're raising them. They went around and raised everybody's evaluations on their houses. Not where I live, but like where I work at. I bet there's going to be a lot of mad people come tax time this time around. What's up, Jonathan Green? Struggling with health issues. I hate to hear that, buddy. TPG said his assessment got jacked this year. They raised mine a few years ago. They haven't done it in a little while. But they're raising like everybody's in the town that I work in, like pretty much for the most part. I've always said, you know, they talk about how, like, I don't think the fix to me is once you own your house, you shouldn't have to pay property taxes or whatever, which I'm fine with that. I don't think anybody should have to pay property taxes, but there's a lot of taxes we pay that I don't think we should have to pay. But the fix to me is because what happens is, like, if you're older and then you get on Social Security or you're, you know, not working anymore and you've lived in that house your entire life, well, it's obviously going to be worth more as you get older. Well, then if it's appraised at something that you can't afford, you get pushed out of it. But to me, it should be, you know, whenever I go to buy a house, if I know the property taxes are going to be this based on my purchase price, then I know whether or not I can afford it or not. And I don't know what the place is going to do around me in the next 30 years or whatever else. To me, they should always just be able to just, your property taxes, and again, I'd be fine if everybody just said, no, we're not paying property taxes, but your property taxes should just, in my opinion, the only right way to do it would be you only pay based upon the purchase price, and the only time it gets increased is if you sell that house and the next person buys it for a lot more money, then that's the assessment of it right there. Property taxes should always just be whatever that is, because again, then anybody that's moving in knows whether or not they can afford that property tax at that point in time and up until they move or do whatever. And then that's also a reason for you to decide, well, I don't know if I want to move or not because my property taxes are, you know, a little bit cheaper or do whatever. But they'll never do any of that. But they do need to do something to where, like, whenever a person gets older and is retired and all that, and then they just so happen to live in an area that starts booming, you know, you raise their taxes to where they can no longer live there. That's kind of crappy. Killtronics worked under several two-post lifts. You learn the proper way to put the car up. I feel totally safe. Mr. Subaru not invited. Did see the Concord Carpenter. Okay, I'll have to look them up and see what they got. The Tool Collector 72 collects tools. That's Clint. Best way to carry a small amount of 1-inch bits in or on a technician pouch. Anything better than Railer is what Forgot My Name asked. Other than if you are carrying a screwdriver that just has them in the handle, you know, that's probably the best way, is if you can find a screwdriver you like that actually stores them in the handle, like, you know, a Klein N1 or, you know, whatever else is out there. There's all sorts of them. There's PB Swiss ones, you know. So basically, if you can find you a screwdriver that has, you know, like this one has the bits in there. So then you already got it built in. You're not taking up anything extra, nothing hanging off the side. Of course, like I said, Klein's got a buku bunch of versions of them. Woodchuck says VCG hasn't been to Pipeline in a few years. Rumor has it he wasn't invited back. Killtronic said in Colorado you only pay property tax for the first 20 years after it's built. Max says he doesn't watch VCG as much. I have, like, whenever I first started watching YouTube, that was one of the channels I watched, but there wasn't very many. Like, I was still finding channels and all that kind of stuff. But I don't see as much of his stuff come through my feed as much anymore. Every now and then his lives where he's going through Home Depot and stuff, those will pop up and I'll watch a little bit of that. But I don't see very much of their stuff come up. My home property taxes went up to $600 in the last 10 years in Illinois. Once you become a senior citizen, you can get your home taxes froze. I think once you hit a certain age here, they give you like a discount. I don't know what it is. Like there's a certain amount that comes off of you. It's basically an amount off of your property value though. So like, let's say your house is assessed at 200,000 or, 250, whatever it is. And then like once you hit a certain age, they drop it. Like they give you like a $40,000, $50,000 deduction or something like that. But like I said, to me, it's just crappy how somebody like they obviously can't move if they're on a fixed income and the houses have went up like crazy and they wouldn't be able to afford to change houses. And then a lot of times there's not even anything in somebody's price range. So to me, it should just be, I bought this house for this much and that's how much I'm going to pay taxes until again, the next time it's sold, that's the opportunity for the tax man to get more money from somebody because they'll pay taxes based on whatever that is at that time. Because I don't think the fix is it. The fix to me, and like I've heard a lot of people say, well, once you paid your house off, you shouldn't have to pay property taxes. But it's like, that's not really going to help a whole lot of people because there's a lot of people who, don't have their house paid off. That's just going to help people who just are able to pay cash for houses and all that kind of stuff. Not that that's, again, still not better, but I don't think that's a good fix. And again, ultimately, we should all be paying less taxes and they should spend less money, is my thoughts on the whole thing. That's why they're always like, we need to tax these people more. We need to tax these people more. It's like, I feel like we need to tax everybody across the board 100% less. Doesn't matter who you are. And then they need to spend less money. That's the answer. It's not tax these people more and give them more money and all that. I mean, we've given them plenty of money. They obviously don't know how to do anything with it. That's my last rant on the taxes. Terry says Kentucky does honor a homestead exemption. So yeah, that's what it is. You get $40,000 off. I knew it was something. You got a certain amount off. I couldn't remember how much it was. Jamie says there's tons of DeWalt bits on clearance at Lowe's. West Virginia has the 65 homestead as well. A house for $200K single wides are nearly that here with no land. Yeah, it's gotten that way here. Like used to $200,000 here was a pretty nice house. And now you can't even get a house for less than, like, if you see anything under two, you better believe it's needing a lot of work and it's in the middle of somewhere where you don't want to live or whatever else. Mike says, I hate to say it, but if you go to Europe, you're going to be happy with the taxes we pay. Their income taxes are higher, their sales taxes are higher, their capital gain taxes are higher, inheritance taxes are higher. It's really, like I said, I don't want to go off on a taxes tangent, but it irritates me because it's like, it's crazy how much we all get taxed. I can't talk about it too much. They're listening and I'll end up in my crawl space somewhere. Last 1,700 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath ranch went for $700K here, and it was from the 70s. Yeah, they're like a starter home in the area where I work at. Well, really here too, for the most part. You're looking at $250,000 to $300,000 probably nowadays. Like where used to it would have been like 130, 150, just not even 7, 8 years ago, I guess. Denny said Crescent, Bosch, and Spider bits are also on clearance. I haven't been to town. I've been working on my building for the most part, and just doing stuff here. So I haven't been to town the last couple of days, but again, I'm going to town tomorrow to pick up some stuff, so I'm probably going to be going to Lowe's, so I'll check out there and see what they got. Don't worry, Mr. Morgan, we've tapped your mesh network. Steve said he finished his basement, added 1,500 square foot on my permit. That building permit caused my taxes to go up 30%. That's the biggest reason, in all honesty, probably why they want building permits and stuff. They could probably care less about if somebody builds something right, but they just want to make sure that they're able to have a reason to, it lets them know what kind of work you've done to it and go ahead and jack that up. And then they also get the fees and all that kind of stuff up front too. Weehaw Terminator Blue has a belt clip system that allows 2 trays. Yeah, I've got that. I don't know if it's in here or not. I've got it somewhere. Yeah. It's got those 2 little trays you slide in and out. That's not a bad setup if you it doesn't take up a lot of room. It's still a little big, and I don't really need that many bits on me most of the time. Like on a pouch, you said a pouch. Now your tool bag is a little bit different. I run more bits in my tool bag, but my pouch, a lot of times, every time I'm using it, I typically know what I'm going to be doing. And normally I only need like 2, maybe 3 different fasteners, depending upon what the job is. And then again, most of the time I end up just running dedicated screwdrivers. So the bit stuff hadn't been a big deal on a pouch as much as what it is in my tool bag. Hummingbird's still hanging out. What's the Go Red or something bit storage? Go Red. Oh, there's a Easy Red, maybe, some way. That's this here. So this is a magnet, which I've got one of these in my truck. I'm like double-sided taped onto my pack-out drawer. I love these. But you could close that up like that and then hang that. But I don't think I'd want that on a pouch though. All the bits hold in there really well. But you'd probably, if you had that on something like you were wearing, like all that stuff might hit something and scratch something. But Easy Red might be, they've got some other stuff besides this. But one thing that's not too bad, I don't know if Home Depot still sells them or not. I used to run these quite a bit. I think I got one. Man, it's actually a little bigger than I remember. I was going to say I used to buy these all the time just to get the ECX bits from Milwaukee because it was just as cheap to buy this almost than it was the bits. And this holds like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bits. And it has like a wire stripper deal. But it just depends on what kind of pouch you're running. But it probably takes up a little bit too much room, in my opinion, for what you're talking about. Now, they do hold in this fairly well. Like, they're pretty tight. You could probably, if you really wanted to, cut part of it off and make it to where you slide it. But at that point, a railer is probably better than that. I gave you 2 likes. You're welcome. Oh, so Clint, you've got 2 different. So you didn't go change your name in the middle of the thing. You've got 2 different accounts. I got you. I go get an icon. Then the next week, Morgan releases a video. Now we're cooked. They're going to sell out. What's up, Travis from Central Texas? Terry Spears bought 2 of the Crescent 25-bit sets at Lowe's today. They were marked down to $622. Is the Crescent also like Crescent Apex or something like that? Those aren't bad bits, if that's what I'm thinking of. Like they're orange and black cases. I used to have a bit case with bits of those in it, and I don't know what happened to it. But I buy those bits of theirs that's got the sleeve on it for doorknobs and stuff like that. Those are really handy. And then I've got all those, insulated where you can put any bit in it and put it in your impact type stuff. I've got those, but I did have some of those bits a long time ago. They're pretty good. Elliot just ordered some of the Bosch. That was Tools and Tactics videos, I think. Home Depot has the Milwaukee pack-out socket set on sale. You think that's a good set? Regular sockets or impact sockets, either one of them are good. Like I've got both. I really like both of them. I love the impact sockets. I love the writing on them, but they're square regular sockets, like the square kind. I've got those in 1/4 inch and 3/8 also, and I really like those. So I've got the I've got the I didn't buy the pack out set of either one. Actually, I did buy the pack out set of the 1/2 inch whenever I bought those, but the impact sockets, I really love them. I mean, that's awesome right there where you can read those. But I've got the 3/8 and 1/2 inch in those. And then I've got, but I ended up buying the sets. Like I've got the 1/4 inch sets that come in these cases, and I actually really like these cases. But if you're going to be snapping in and out of your van or something, that's a different story. These stay in my garage, but you could take these out, and just put them in your toolbox drawer if you wanted to. But these cases are really slim. But I really like these sockets too. They're nice. The ratchets are good. I mean, I like them. I've got 1/4 inch. I bought the individual ones because they were on deal of the day one day. So I got a metric and the SAE, like 2 separate things. Which if you can find them like that, it's almost a better deal because you get an extra ratchet. But if you find them at the same price, and then the 3/8, I've got the metric SAE together. Those are the ones I keep out here in my garage. Every now and then, if I know I'm going to a job where I'm going to use sockets a lot, like normally I just use my Klein Connect set for just something. But if I know I'm going to somewhere where I'm going to use a bunch of sockets, I'll just grab that and throw it in my truck. But I also will just come out here and grab those and take them in my house for stuff too. That's why I leave them in the case. Three-eighths impact. Yeah, I love the impact sockets. Like I want to buy a 1/4 inch set of them too. If they've got, I don't know if they got 1/4 inch in the impact sockets. Milwaukee does. Maybe they sell them on a rail or something. I'd like to have those. That's what I actually bought the Klein, those Go sets back there. I bought those thinking they were 1/4 inch because they got the same kind of, writing on those that the Milwaukee ones do. But these ended up being 3/8 drive. But these are very similar, to the Milwaukee ones. But I'd like to get me a 1/4 inch set that has the white on it and I'll probably buy the Milwaukee ones if they've got them, because I've already got the 3/8 and 1/2 inch. So then that way all my sockets will be the same. But I definitely want to get some. Woodchuck said borderline animal abuse. He's still alive. Every now and then y'all might see him. I don't know if you see him come through here or not. Like every now and then I feel like he's pretty low. I don't know. Have y'all seen him whip past me any? He's so fast. Like by the time he goes past, and then I'm on a delay, so I never see him when I look down anyways. Yeah, all the Milwaukee socket sets that I've got, I bought them as a deal of the day, usually like in my 1/2 inch ones, all those. They were, at some point in time, I caught them on a deal is the main reason why I bought them, but I really like them. What's my favorite ratchet screwdriver bit holder these days? Uh, my favorite ratcheting screwdriver is a Vessel USB powered electric screwdriver. Is my favorite ratcheting screwdriver. It does forward and reverse, super nice, almost as if it doesn't even ratchet. My bit holder one that I'm using right now, as far as bit holder and the handle, the one I've got in my SPMC is that 17-in-1 Klein that has the flip socket that has the actual bit holder on it instead of the 1/4 inch you slide up and down, which that's just a different flip socket. It's not necessarily that it comes with that screwdriver, but you can put it on anything. But that's the one I currently keep in my, that and an Impact 11-in-1 I keep in my SPMC. Someway says, and he doesn't like the Japanese. I like the Japanese. I just don't own any Makita stuff, if that's the Japanese stuff you're talking about. I like Vessel. Who got the Klein ball grip on Amazon? I had 2 in my cart, went to buy, said only 1, so I changed cart, went to buy, and it said out of stock. Matt said he got 3 of them, Clint, so he's the one who stole them all. I don't know how many there was. I didn't pay any attention. I saw, actually, I got an email from the lady at Klein, and she said, just letting you know, we finally got them up on Amazon again. So I went and got it, made the link, made the post real fast, and then I thought, well, I don't know how many people see the posts, so I'm just going to film a real fast video and stick it out there. Well, then by the time I filmed the video and got it uploaded and put the link in, whenever I went back to get the link, it still said it didn't say they were out of stock at the time I got the link and uploaded the video. But then after I uploaded the video, I went back to Amazon, and that's when it said temporarily sold out. So she acted like they were trying their best to get some more put up on the Amazon. The girl, that the lady I talked back and forth with, she's a girl, I guess. She's pretty young. I met her whenever I was down there. I wonder if they knew that it was going to get like that much, uh, like interest, I guess, because it's not something they really even had before. So I'm sure, and maybe it was one of those things like, hey, let's make a ball handle screwdriver. We've seen a few of them out there, and then I wonder if they knew that there was going to be like that much interest in it, because I'm actually a little bit surprised, to be honest with you. I didn't know that many people were really. I mean, you guys know that I like them, but I don't know anybody else around me that runs Vessel screwdrivers like personally, and so y'all might run them more because you watch my channel and it kind of lets you know about them, even though most of you knew about them well before I even did. But I didn't know how many people actually run ball handle screwdrivers. Like nobody else around me has them. What about Annex Tone? No. Annex, I know. Tone, I think I did buy one thing, like a bit holder or something one time. I never heard of the Takagi Earthman Engineer. I've got some engineer pliers. Those are pretty good. Koken, Knee Pros. Vessel are very nice, both ball grip and traditional. I like those a lot. Did Klein ever say if Vessel's making theirs? No, they didn't. They didn't say anything to me about it. A lot of people, Matt said around me, use ball handle screwdrivers. Once you pop, you can't stop. It's very hard for me to use another screwdriver now. It's like I even still like Klein screwdrivers. Like I run my 11 and 1 and 17 and 1, but it's like the whole time I'm using it, I'm just like, I wish this was a ball handle. So I've gotten so used to using them now, it's pretty weird for me to use something else. So I was glad to see that Klein was coming out with one just because I'm a big Klein fan. And it just more people making a ball handle. I like that idea just because I really like them. And then PB Swiss is coming out with some different grips of some kind or different handles. I don't know if the grip's crazy different, but the handles are going to be different a little bit. Got some bugs eating my legs up. You'd think the Hummingbird being here eating a bunch of bugs. No, he's just hanging out up there on the ceiling making noise. Elliot ordered a set of those nail clippers from Vim. They're pretty nice in my opinion. I mean, I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure there's probably some store brand type nail clippers that probably are the same type of thing. But, you know, I probably have bought all my nail clippers at the dollar store. But I like them. Like they're more to hold on to for sure. Like most of the ones in the store, like I said, if you go to the dollar store and buy some, it's very hard to even, if you got bigger hands, to even deal with them. And that spring is really nice. And the head on them's big. Bird must be a tool enthusiast. I'm wondering if it'd be a lot darker now if I turn off everything. Maybe it'll get a little bit more light. I'm gonna try it. It's darker outside, but it's at least a lot bigger contrast of the opening of the door versus the me sitting here type thing. Elliot said, "How often do I use my M12 rocket light?" I actually sold mine to somebody. I got to where I wasn't using it very much at all because I bought that Power Smith Voyager or whatever it was that took M18, and I ended up taking, and I could plug that one in too, and it was a lot brighter. And the only time I really used my rocket light was whenever I was going into like a job where I was no power at all and trying to sand like drywall or something, so I could just move it around with me. But after I bought that, it was very rare that I was keeping it in my truck or anything, and so I sold it to a buddy of mine that was wanting one. Green rectangles back, I saw that, so that's the on air sign. You need a bat for biting insects or a purple martin. Hummingbirds don't carry their weight in insect eradication. I don't think this hummingbird here is the brightest one of the bunch anyways. You cannot figure out how to get outside for nothing. He's hanging out on this cord up here now. Hummingbirds aren't bug eaters. They drink nectar. Oh, y'all might have saw him there. Let's see if he comes. I'm gonna watch the screen, see if I see him. I felt like he was at my head. Nope. He's making me look like I'm a crazy person. Y'all have never seen him, and I'm just looking around like crazy. I think it's because my ceiling's white or something. Maybe it thinks it's the daylight. I don't know. There, he keeps landing right there. Somebody, I think it was Killtronic, said they don't fly down. I think it's like I said, it's hanging out at right the same height, which is exactly where my garage door like is as it's rolled up, and it's like it will not go below it. If it would go below it, it's like plain as day. That's how you get out of here, buddy. Couldn't get any work done in with the bar motif workbench. Look at that super fine El Arroyo sign. Now that's cool. Yeah, I don't do a lot of like I'll put together stuff or like take apart a tool and repair it or something on that workbench. But most of the time I get out, like if I'm doing work, I get out workbenches and set it out here in the middle. That's more of a just sticking my stuff on it type thing. Put a bright light under the garage door. Let me see if I let's see if I can capture him and get him out. Well, he's just looking at me like I'm stupid. Come on, buddy. You can do it. I just know he's going to end up dying in here if he can't get out. Follow the light. Yeah, I think I agree with whoever said they can't fly down because they basically, he just basically keeps hanging out right there at the very ceiling. Won't come down for nothing. Come on. Come on. I think even if I put the light at the door, it's not going to. Bowl of sugar water on the ground outside the door. This will forever be known as the day Joey lost his mind over an imaginary bird. Now he's up there. I'm gonna get my phone and next time I find him, show him to you. Actually, I don't hear him right now. I don't know where he's at. I'm hoping I missed him and he went outside. Maybe he's gone. I don't know. I might have got lucky. What's up, Chris? Yeah, the weather has been like, well, I just heard him again. Way better in the last couple days. Miss Maintenance, you need to get out here with your sweetness and see if you can get this hummingbird. You can probably stick your finger out and he'll come down and land on your finger. I almost had him like down over there a minute ago with the, I wasn't hitting him with the broom. I was kind of just nudging him out and he was going that way, but then he went back up on top. But like I said, whoever said it a minute ago that said they don't fly down, I think that's what it is. Cause he's been at the same exact height. I'm going to get my phone and show you guys so y'all don't think I'm crazy. So there he was. I said, I mostly want to get him out of here just because if he ain't out of here, he ain't going to have nothing to. I don't know how he's going to get out of here. He's just going to die. More so than he's driving me crazy. Yeah, I think that's Killtronic said you got a net, you're gonna have to net him. I think I am gonna have to like find something that I can kind of get over him and bring him down somehow. Because the broom, I'm able to move him, but eventually he goes up above something that I can't get to. Well, he's been a interesting event on the live, anyways, I guess. Yeah, and my white ceiling is really messing with him. I think he thinks it's like, and that's the problem with. I've got my light out there, but it's kind of making my white ceiling brighter. I guess let me point it down, maybe. living in the South and no fishing net. I've never been like I've always went fishing with people if they've asked me to go type thing, but it's never been something that I'm just like, oh, I love doing it type stuff. Kind of the same way with hunting. I've went with people. I've went by myself a couple times in my younger days, but it's just not anything that interests me anymore, really. Hadn't spoken a word about tools. It's bird this, bird that. Anybody that's coming into the live late sees the mood lighting. They're going to think this was a romantic episode. A red light outside. Let's see. I'm sure I've got a red light somewhere. I don't know if I got one handy. This one doesn't have the colors, I don't think. I don't remember. No, one's all white lights. I think all my red light ones are in my truck. Joey After Dark Edition. It's Morgan's Maintenance by Moonlight. Every now and then it gets quiet and I think it's left, but then it takes off again. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Now I got a big bird in here. Oh, he's going after the hummingbird. Did y'all see the big bird? Oh, yeah, see, that just came across the screen. See? Hummingbird, you just watch the big bird fly in here and then fly out. He's trying to show you what to do. This will be the last time I open my garage door for a live. Yeah, now that was like a regular bird of some kind. I don't know what kind it was. It's too fast for me to be able to see it, but it was pretty good size. It's like there's something going on in here that's very attractive to birds. That's what Abraham just said. Yeah, because I've had one fly. Which this is the first time I've ever had a hummingbird. Like the regular birds, I've had them come in before, but they figure out how to go out pretty fast. Like if I just go over and nudge them or do whatever. But this dude right here isn't. He can't figure it out. Like it's the white ceiling that's messing him up because he keeps just rubbing against it as if he thinks that that's a sky or something. Was it a bat? No, it wasn't a bat. That was a bird. I could tell it was a bird. Summary for this one is this Milwaukee pipeline was for the birds. Pretty disappointing. That's how it all ties together. Still in here. Every now and then I think he's gone. He's not. I'll have to spend who knows how long getting him out, but I'll have to do that after the live in case I have to do something that's not PETA certified. I'm trying to think of what I've gotten here that I could use like a net and try to throw it over top of him, but maybe I'll get out some of my Durasac bags or something. Try to get it to where I got him, like where I can push him down. I think if I could just get him down low enough that when he flies up, he hits the garage door, he'd go on out, but bucket. Yeah, I guess if I could get him to go up in a bucket, if he can't fly down, yeah, I'll try that. Because he keeps coming over here. Like I can wait around. He's been landing on this cord right here above me on one of my lights quite a few times. So I'll probably come over here with my ladder and a bucket and wait for him to get there and see if I can put it over top of him maybe. Catch him with the vac. Let me grab my Bucky's bucket. Let me see if I can. I'm going to move y'all up in that direction of where he normally lands, and we'll see if we can catch him. He's been landing on this cord right here quite a few times. I'm going to have to be stealth over here. He probably won't ever come over here now, though. With me here. I wonder if maybe if I put the light on my garage, on inside of here, and put it on the top of the garage door. Problem is, every time I put a light, it makes my ceiling just bright white. Come on, bud. Think about it. Come on. That ain't working. He was right there close to me. I don't know if it was a thing or not. Hummingbird 69, Joey 0. The problem is too with this bucket here. I don't think I need to go get my shorter little Menards bucket. This one's a little bit too tall. That I don't think even if I get him on there, I'm not gonna be able to wrap the bucket around him. Let me grab that real fast. I'm sure he's been standing on this cord the whole time I've been gone. Need an Elmer Fudd hat. Shut the lights off and put your light outside. I've got all my lights off other than this stuff. And I've got a light outside. Nice bucket collection. He's been coming over here to this cord 1,000 times. Of course, I'm sure it's because I'm standing here, but he's not coming over anymore. Got a sucker, put it on a stick. I wonder if I lick my finger. Come on. Turd. I know you got to have a pellet rifle. I guess I'll shut my garage door and put the light over here at the door. Because the garage door, once it's up, is pretty much blocking him because he's going below it. But it's also letting in some of the... Although, let's go make that light come on. Man. You at least know it wasn't made for pest control. It's all of the Milwaukee red in the room that's attracted him. Milwaukee pin nailer. That thing does shoot without having to hold the safety, so you probably could use that. I don't know how good the aim is on it, though. Now he's hanging out up here in a kayak. Maybe I gotta move the light further away from the door so maybe it's not hitting that white ceiling. I'll see. It's probably gonna make it super dark in here. Now it's really romantic. Oh, going towards the door. Go on, buddy. No, turned around. Almost. I don't know if I'm persuading with this or not. Boom! Out the door, out the door. Pushed him out the door with the broom. And y'all were doubting my pest control skills. The M18 leaf over do it. I tried that earlier. It didn't work. It was just making him mad. But I pushed him with that little broom. I moved him over, and then I swapped at him real hard, and he flew down enough that he was level with the door, and then went outside. No birds harmed in this video. It's correct. That's the main reason. Like, it doesn't bother me necessarily he's in here, other than I did feel like he was going to hit me in the face a bunch of times. It's like if I can't get him outside, he ain't got nothing he's going to eat in here. He's just going to sit there and fly up against my ceiling all night long until he's dead. Nice work. Take Sunday off. Now what are we going to talk about? Killtronic said, I don't know. All out of stuff now. That big bird that came in was crazy. I mean, it was right in my face. But it flew in and flew right back out. But it actually flew up there right next to that hummingbird. I was hoping it was going to teach it how to get out of there. Oh no, Joey, you were clearly bothered. It was bugging me, but I mean, it's more so just because I'm trying to look at the screen and then I could hear it, and I felt like it was like right here, even though it was kind of more up. I kept feeling like it was going to hit me. Kentucky Pest Control's emailing me an application. I remember at the place I worked at before, we got one in an apartment one time, and it took me like, I bet I spent 6 hours getting that thing out of that place, because it kept flying up into. The problem was that had drop ceilings in the hallway, and somebody had left some of the tiles open, and it had gotten up and above the drop ceiling. So I kept taking tiles out, trying to go get it to come back down. I had to get it to come out of the drop ceiling and then go out of a window. So then I kept moving tiles out to get it to come out of the drop ceiling, but before I could get all the tiles put back in, it would get back up in another one. And then after I got it out, I had to get it out of the window too. It took me forever. Think of all the potential bird questions you can ask on your next giveaway. If only there was a channel that you could talk about tools. I've had snakes, lizards, wasps, frogs, toads, and armadillos in my garage. I only had to deal with a snake once inside. Lizards, there's lizards that come in and out of here like crazy, because I get the little lizard turds all over the place, and they come in around mostly around my garage door, because this thing is sloped. It used to just be a slab that they parked on, and wasn't like a finished thing or anything like this. So they sloped the concrete when they poured it like a bunch to make sure the water ran off. So my garage door, that's why I had to get a small garage door for this. From one side to the other is easily from 0 to probably 2.5 inches over a 7-foot wide garage door. So I had to have the biggest gasket you could possibly get on the bottom of my garage door. And so it leaves a little bitty gap right there, and they come in right there like crazy. But they're also getting in. This building's not sealed off very well. It's just metal going down to dirt. So hopefully me doing this around the outside is going to help with that too. But them things can get in just about anywhere. A lizard can get in anywhere. If you got a hole anywhere, they can get in it. I went to the daycare to work on a fire alarm. The panel was in the basement. I was down there and kept hearing the noise. Found a skunk in the egress well outside. We had quite a few skunks on that campus. We even had so if you want to look up, there's a show called Call of the Wild Man. I think it was. The guy's name was Turtle Man. Like, he did some shows. I think it was either on Discovery or Animal Planet or one of them. I can't remember. I think the name of the show, if I remember right, was Call of the Wild, but the guy's name was the Turtle Man, and he went around catching stuff and all kinds of stuff like that. Well, they came and shot a show at the campus I worked at, and I'm in that video too, talking in that video. I can't remember what season it was, what episode, but I'm pretty sure it's Call of the Wild Man. I'm trying to think. I almost remember what the name of the episode was. It was something about kitty, because there's more than just where he came and did mine. Like, there's 2 things in that one episode where he goes somewhere else, and then he also came there. So that was actually one of my television debuts, or TV debuts, was on that. Wayne Dolan said Turtle Man is a legend. Yeah, so I'm on that show. Sounds like a Florida show. Live action, Jamie True said. Yeah, if I find it in there, because I bought it on Amazon. Actually, hang on, let me see if I can. I might can look it up right here. Let me see if I can get on my Amazon account, because I've got it on my Amazon account as a. I don't know if I can get into. I think you have to have the Amazon video app though. I'm not sure if I got that. Let me see video. I might be able to find it here in my purchase stuff. I've never got to it on my app. I'm not even seeing my purchase stuff in here. I think you have to have like a different app. Miss Maintenance maybe could look it up, but I want to say I bought it. I bought just that episode on Amazon, so I should be able to look up. If I can find it when I go in, I'll post what the episode is and all that kind of stuff. Call of the Wild Man. I think that was the name of the show. Yeah. Let me see if it's got a. Maybe it's got a thing here that say that I've got something purchased. I think it was in season 3, which season 3 is actually, yeah, season 3, episode 5. It says that I purchased it. So let me see what the name of it is. Cat Killer. So this is it right here. If you go watch that, I'm in this one right here. Season 3, episode 5, Cat Killer of Call of the Wild Man. I'm a lot younger in that. So because it was quite a few years. 2013 it said. So that's been, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years ago. Shark Coochie is lingering. And I remember my country twang is a lot more on that episode than what it is now, even though I still have it pretty obvious now. But like I said, that was a long time ago. I was also on a billboard in our town. Yeah, I'm actually on a billboard shirtless in our town. And one of the gyms in my town has shirtless pictures of me all over the locker room. I don't know if they're still in there. I haven't been in that gym in a while, but they used to have me all over their whole entire gym showing off my buff body. Yeah, Matt said he's downloading now. There's 2 episodes in that one episode. Like they go to where I am, and then they also there's another episode where they get. I think that the name of it is something cats, whatever it was. I said kitty or something, kittens or whatever. That's what he does. Skunks where I'm at, but he does like cats at the other place. We still haven't seen the cardboard cutout. Woodchuck said, "What's going on in Kentucky?" Now we know why Amanda married him. It's fame. Yeah, I'm pretty famous in my town. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I can't think of any other things where I would be on film. I mean, I was on the news some for the reason why I was in the gym picture too, but I don't know if those are on the YouTube anywhere or not. I will reveal the cardboard cutout on one of the lives. Stay tuned. I've got pictures of the before and after, but that cardboard cutout was also in subways in our area. Like I was in the subways, like they had me in the, because that's where I even got. That's actually where I got the cardboard cutout. It wasn't from the gym. It was from the subway that was close to where I worked that I went all the time. They had, because it was like a partnership between them and the gym, and I got the cardboard cutout from the lady at Subway. The cops was on cops too. I might have been. That would have been that was the episode where I was with Super Speeder and got dragged out of the car and my wife beat her shirt. Miss Maintenance has got jokes. Miss Maintenance has been calling me low-key fat for the last 2 or 3 days in many different ways. She's been calling me fat like she's got a problem with me or something. She's been subtle jabs where she's not actually using the word fat, but she's calling me fat. Well, it's 8:05. I guess I'm gonna go in. I got to get my stuff ready to go to. I got to actually make myself a list. I got a lot of stuff I got to go buy tomorrow. I got to get my foundation coating. I got to get my drainage pipe. I got to get my form boards. Something else that I'll have to remember between now and then. I'm just big boned with a thyroid issue. I'm big boned with a little Debbie issue. 9:05 here. I can't believe that lady was willing to part with that, Jamie True said. Yeah, I remember the first time I went in Subway after she got that, because that was a place, it was real close to where I worked and I ate there quite often. And she said whenever she saw it, she's like, I was pretty sure that was you in there, but I wasn't positive. But then they were throwing it away later because the thing was over. But she saved it and said, I saved this in case you wanted it. Make sure I do a sweet for birds. Killtronics down 20 pounds in a month from the heat. Yeah, actually, usually it's kind of weird for me. It all mostly just depends on what I want to do. Once I get in the mood to, I lose weight pretty fast. I just haven't gotten in the mood for a while. But the summertime's actually harder for me to lose weight than it is the winter time, because the summertime it just seems like there's more cookout things and people having things and all that kind of stuff. There's just people always want to go eat somewhere. Sandwich, eat fresh. Yeah, Subway is healthy. It's like, why would I want to eat a hamburger? That's not healthy. Instead, I'm going to go get a meatball sub with 6 balled up hamburgers on it and eat that instead. That's a Jim Gaffigan joke. TPG used to eat at Subway, but haven't been there since they hired the spokes Sasquatch. I don't eat there very often. I've kind of turned over too, which I don't go eat a lot of sandwiches, but I like Jersey Mike's the best out of any sandwich place. It's probably my favorite sandwich place, other than like there's some just little places in our town that have sandwiches that aren't like chain places, but I like Jersey Mike's the best. The Firehouse Subs place is okay. It's pretty expensive, and then Jimmy John's is okay, but I like Jersey Mike's better. Eat like Rob Swanson. Mike's Way, Lockhammer said, 100%. If you're not getting it Mike's Way, you're missing out. But I'm going to go off here and get in. I'm glad I got the bird out at least. I thought I was going to have to spend some time out here trying to figure out that. At least I got that done. So he kind of he gave us something exciting, I guess, for the live. Doesn't even wait for cookies to cook. Now, the best cookies in the world are those no-bake cookies, the kind that are the chocolate with the oatmeal. You know how people make those. Those are my favorite cookies. Those are really good. Peanut butter and chocolate and oatmeal. I don't know what all's in it, but they're good. But I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Good to see y'all on this live. This week's Guess the Trade, 2 Husky Totes, Robert Bohr. He only has a few pictures, but again, I only did his because I was really busy. I've been busy this week with scheduling stuff and all that kind of stuff. And then I was going to have people working while I was in here filming outside. So it's not a very long one. So if you want to chat it up, you have to do an early pregame. But also, I'm running low on them. So I mentioned that last time. So I've still got another one for next week. And I think maybe after that. But I'm only doing one just because I don't have very many to make sure I've got some. But I'm going to go ahead and get off here. We'll see y'all on the next one. Going to take the old walk of shame.